was a different story altogether. Kandy touching down 9 tries in total and managing to make sure that they get a big win. Week 5 breakdown as we take a look at that. Some very, very important stats brought to you in courtesy of the Papare content team and the stats team who've put together some important numbers. Take a look at the number of tackles. Kandy had to make 123 tackles against the Cops, but still managed to walk away with 49 points to their name. Havelocks, of course, getting that week off, the previous week off, so they will want to make sure that they will be putting a good comeback into this competition. Points table at the moment, Maliban Inter-Club Rugby League 25-26. Air Force right at top. 3 out of 3. They've gotten 16 points, but one thing that will concern them is the fact that they haven't gotten the 2 bonus points from 2 games. Just the 1 bonus point to show. CR in second with 2 wins out of 3 games with 13 points, and Kandy, having only played 2 with a game in hand, are at the 3rd place with 12 points and 2 bonus points in both those games. CH and FC again in 4th, also have a game in hand, have gotten 11 points on the board for them, and Havis, having played 2, won 1, drew 1, are languishing in that 5th place. They will want to make sure that they are in contention for that top prize and going into 2nd round playing in that competition. Army, Navy, Police and Sri Lions, the bottom 4, Police and Sri Lions, will want to make sure that they change their fortunes, because remember, if they cannot do that, they will be under the pump and will not will have to play that relegation game and to see who will play in those second 4. Well, we'll go for a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we will have plenty more to throw at you.
Muscle Guard Herbal Cream. A herbal cream for rapid relief and complete healing from muscle and joint ailments. Experience rapid relief. A trusted product from Link Natural.
බෑග්වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මාගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
වසංගකාරී වෙන්වෙන්. අද්විතීය නිමාවෙන්. විශ්වාසී ආරක්ෂාවෙන්. අසලසම ස්මාර්ට් ඔප්ෂන් සමගින් 125cc බලයෙන් සියල්ලටම ඉහළින්. TVS Raider 125, the full option bike.
බෑග්වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මාගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
Keep pushing the limits. No matter what your fitness goal is, we are always there by you. With you. Iodex. Get. Spray. Go.
ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් එකක් නැද්ද මුදලාලි? අතන කඩේ 140ක් දෙන්නම් කිව්වා.
බෑග්වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මාගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
Love rugby.
Live rugby.
Prima Kotumi. Fun tamai.
ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් එකක් නැද්ද මුදලාලි? අතන කඩේ 140ක් දෙන්නම් කිව්වා.
බෑග්වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මාගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
Keep rising. No matter what your fitness goal is, we are always there by you. With you. Iodex. Get. Spray. Go.
එතකොට මහත්තයාට උනේ ටයිල් ඇඩිසිව් ග්‍රවුට් වෝටර්ප්‍රූෆින් ස්කිම් කොට් නේ.
ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් එකක් නැද්ද මුදලාලි? අතන කඩේ 140ක් දෙන්නම් කිව්වා.
බෑග් වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මා ගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
එතකොට මහත්තයාට උනේ ටයිල් ඇඩිසිව් ග්‍රවුට් වෝටර්ප්‍රූෆින් ස්කිම් කොට් නේ.
ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් එකක් නැද්ද මුදලාලි අතන කඩේ 140ක් දෙන්නම් කිව්වා.
බෑග් වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මා ගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
Muscle Guard Herbal Cream. A herbal cream for rapid relief and complete healing from muscle and joint ailments. Experience rapid relief. A trusted product from Link Natural.
Perfectly Swiss Tech Aluminium. නඩත්තු වියදම් නැති ජාත්‍යන්තර සහතික සමග වසර 30ක් දක්වා වගකීමක් ඇති Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
Love Rugby.
Live Rugby.
Prima Kotumi Fantamari.
Perfectly Swiss Tech Aluminium. නඩත්තු වියදම් නැති ජාත්‍යන්තර සහතික සමග වසර 30ක් දක්වා වගකීමක් ඇති Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න. Perfectly Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
Keep sweating. No matter what your fitness goal is, we are always there by you, with you. Iodex. Get. Spray. Go.
Perfectly Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
Welcome back to the live action brought to you from Havelock Sports Club. And joining me in the con box is Shanaka Amarasinghe. Shanaka, brilliant to see that the game has returned to the country last week, and then come this week we have some very interesting games lined up, and Sri Lanka Rugby, Maliban Inter-Club Rugby League is intensifying with every game that's being played.
Yes, it's wonderful to see the Maliban Inter-Club Rugby League back on the roster, Sudarshana. There was a bit of controversy, a bit of chat as to whether the league should have restarted, but I think the crowds at the grounds last week spoke for itself, and people are anxious to get on and maybe have a little bit of a distraction as far as sports is concerned as well. A wonderful day here for rugby. It's been an outstanding bit of weather that we've had today. I hope the heavens don't open up before this match is over. We started early as usual, just to make sure that the weather doesn't interrupt any of the games. So that's one good thing, and the weather is fantastic for running rugby. Here's a man who loves his rugby just as much as he loves his cricket, Russell Arnold. With us. He knows the camera's on him, but he's pretending like he doesn't. But it's lovely to see. It's his club, Havelock Sports Club, that he's supported for a long, long time. The Pete Wrights of that era tended to gravitate towards Havelock Sports Club, so he's hoping that they'll be able to pull off a win here on their home grounds. But Air Force, stable leaders, Sudarshana. Who would have thought it? Midway into the first round, and Air Force are currently the team to catch.
Fixtures of this week, Havelock Sports Club taking on Air Force, the game that we will bring to you. And also up in Balisara, we have the Sailors hosting CRNFC, who are looking to bounce back from that heartbreaking defeat back at home against their traditional rivals, the Maitland Drivers, with CHNFC. Sri Lions will take on Police Sports Club. Both teams languishing at the bottom. Police are just two ahead of the wooden spoon. Sri Lions currently looking like they are taking that and are winless so far this season. Will want this game to be their turning point. That will be played tomorrow at CRNFC grounds. And up in Nithavala, it's going to be a very, very interesting one. Kandy Sports Club taking on CHNFC. The back-to-back home games last week against the Cobbs Kandy were under the pump after that first half. And CHNFC, with that morale-boosting victory against their Maitland rivals, will want to make sure that they try and topple these defending champions.
Going to be an interesting one for certain up in Nithavala, Sudarshana, because CHNFC do have a foreign player, a couple of them who did make a difference against CRNFC. Kandy don't have foreign players, and that's going to be a factor, I'm sure. Of course, they don't need them because they are the league champions, and that's what they've set out a nice stall early on in the season and said we can manage to win this league without foreign players, but that will be really put to the test this time. Here's the Air Force team. Manuka Pereira, Shamika Kaushan, who scored a lot of tries, Amila Kumara Nilantha Javira, Malisha Veerakun, good experience in that engine room, Pathum Piris, Sharaka Verala, the captain, Rumesh Vasanta, and Vishal Akalanka comes in at number 9, partnering Ishara Madhushan, Pramod Padmasanka and Afa Vaovasa in the centres. That's going to be a big midfield for the Havies to handle. Kayanta Idnamalgoda goes from 10 to 15, and he'll start in the fullback jersey today. Shenal Uyangoda on the right wing and Arosh Ratnayaka on the left wing for Air Force. Fernando Ratnayaka, Vikramasinghe, Fernando Jayaratna Kaluarachi, and the two Bandaras on the bench. Then the Havelock Sports Club team looking to upset the table leaders, Abdullah Faiz, Azmir Fajuddin and Nisal Silva in that very experienced front row. Udara Lakshan and Janidu Fernando look for that front five to really make a difference in this game. Shem Mendis, Dilshan Chatra and Udesh Madhusanka round up a really impressive pack for the Havelock's team. Rifan Mohammed and Sandesh Jayavikrama have paired off quite a bit in the recent past and will be expecting something from that halves combination. And Amito Anai Visesio in the first centre position, Dilshara Kodagoda in an untested centre combination for this Havelock's team. Samuel Madhuvanta returns to his favoured fullback jersey after a long layoff. Jayatu Rajaratna, the Sri Lanka try scorer, on the right wing, and Janidu Wijayaratna on the left. Senaratna Sendanayaka Pereira Vaidyanatha and Rodrigo rounding up the bench.
Going to be a very interesting one, Sonik, especially given the fact that if you take a look at, when we took a look at the Air Force team card, this entire lineup, as we take a look at the match officials, Ravin Alexander pairing off with Jivika Fonseca and Harshan Vijayvira as the ARs, with Mr. Dilroy Fernando, the television match official. Coming back to the Air Force side, when you take a look at Air Force, they are largely unchanged from the previous couple of seasons, whereas Havelocks are going to go in with a very, very young and a new unit, and the layoff, the 1 week break or the 2 weeks break that they ended up getting, how will that affect their start here is going to be interesting.
Well, we'll find out soon.
As Havelocks kick off, Berala collecting it and has been bundled into touch by Janidu Wijayaratna. Another Don. Two lads from the Senanayaka College manning the wings. Janidu Wijayaratna and Jayatu Rajaratna.
So, pinpoint kickoff. Sharaka Verala should probably have done a little bit better there. But first line out for Azmir Fajuddin.
Fajuddin straight away opting to go to the last spot, but the overthrow is collected by Dilshan. But Havelock's losing the ball forward. Early jitters.
They've got a wonderful forward pack, haven't they? Just reading those names out, Sudarshana, they have an outstanding pack. This could be very close to a Sri Lanka pack, barring a few names. So they really have to make it count. And that line out is not what they wanted to do. But Chatra Dilshan tidying up at the back and unfortunately losing it forward, which is not what you want from a big player.
Well, that big lad, Jonathan Fernando, in a number 5 jersey is always a luxury, isn't it? He's already registered as a front row player as well, who can go into your front row and add in a little big impetus. Fernando as Akalanka feeds in for Air Force, who like to exit in their own 40. Gadde the Malgoda manages to bring play out 30 meters, 25 meters rather. Air Force played all their 3 games at home, Shanika, in conditions very difficult to kick. How will they translate it into their Havelock Park is going to be interesting.
It's a really difficult ground to play at, isn't it, the Ratmalana ground? And with the Air Force practicing there, they know exactly what it's all about. But the wind has picked up here, so they'll know how to play with wind. But which one will it be? Shem Mendes takes it at the middle.
Havelock's now Rifan gives it to Alpha. Havis looking to create something as Fajuddin goes into contact. Rifan looking for Sandesh. Now Madhuanta. No hands was the call from the referee. It was loud and clear, but Afa was giving away the first penalty of the game.
Referee did give them a chance, said no hands, and you've got to listen and let go. That's what we've seen in international rugby. A lot of players are responding to the referee's call, and Afa Vauvasa will need to do that if he's going to get over the ball.
Havis opting to go to touch and goes to the corner. Samuel Madhuanta with a new hairstyle. Haven't seen much of him due to an injury that he nursed. Will want to make sure that he puts his best foot forward.
Spent a bit of time in the physio room and the salon by the looks of it. Shem Mendes again at the back.
A brilliant throw by Yasmir Fajuddin. Havis setting it up. In control now, driving forward. Look at Fajuddin, knew exactly what to do. Change of fan, makes it available for Faiz. Faiz inches away from the try line. Havis with the early rush towards the try line. Udara Madhushankar with the carry. Now big hit on Udara Lakshan. No way through the forwards who want to control it and keep it close to them. Faiz gives it out to Dilshan. Rifans, Jaya Vikrama needs to swing it out wide, and they do. Janithu Vijayaratna for the first commercial bank try for Havelock Sports Club. And beautifully done by the forward, settling it in the middle, and then it was just a simple matter of sending the ball out wide and having score in the corner.
We talked about their forward pack, and they did come to the party there. Here's the final touches. Rifan Mohammed, Jaya Vikrama knowing exactly where to send the ball, using his foreign player as a decoy, and a lovely pass on to Janithu Vijayaratna, who just dives in the corner. Easy enough try for him, followed by an Adi Savaya celebration as well. But it's ominous signs for Air Force if they can't hold that driving maul, Sudarshana. They're going to have to rethink how they're going to defend it very quickly, because that was a good 15-20 meter maul.
Yeah, at no point did they look like they were under pressure, Havis. And you could see Fajuddin's experiences in it right at the back of that maul, Shanak. And when the maul changed direction, how he changed his shoulder without disengaging from the maul, which would have forced the referee to blow the whistle. But those are the slight little things, most times they're not, goes unnoticed, but turn into a very, very effective move.
Good assist pass from Dilshara Kodagoda as well for that try. And you have to say that if Azmir Fajuddin was maybe 5 inches taller and 10 kilos heavier, he would be the starting Sri Lanka hooker by a long way. He is outstanding in that position. Just lacking a little bit of size for the international game, and a little bit of a grubber kick there from Air Force to start things off.
But eventually making a complete mockery of that. They had a very good opportunity there, but no one really wanting it. Would have ideally been Vishal Akalankal's responsibility being the halfback to try and pick that one up.
So this is the difference, isn't it, Sudarshan? That's where the knock-on happened. Before the ball on, Nilantha Jayavira, experienced player, but this is where it's difficult for Air Force. They've won games well and they've got to the top of the league, but now they're looking over their shoulder. There's a bit of pressure on, and that's when the team will need to focus.
Now Havelock Sports Club getting their overseas talent, Visesio, into the act. Refund inside their own 50, opts to go from the base. The Malgoda trying to collect that, left it behind, but rescuing that was Viyangoda. Air Force forwards have been dutiful so far this season. Will have to put in a big shift as well.
Okay, hold.
Padma Sankar opts to kick Rifan to Madhuanta. Madhuanta puts ball to boot. Dangerous lad to be left alone to kick. Here's it, the Malgoda inside the 22 meters, and that's a good kick. Brings play on to the opposition half.
Sensible exit from the Malgoda. It was good back three play there from the Air Force. And a little bit of aimless kicking from Havelock. So I thought they had the momentum there to keep the ball in hand a little bit more. But if they've got to kick, they've got to make it contestable. The Air Force bench looking on anxiously.
What number one on method? Straight line, please.
So line out right in front of the bench.
Stay 10.
Havis with the throw in. Last two occasions they've opted to go for number 4 and 6. This time the front peel comes in as Lakshan lays it down for Havis. Opting to use another forward to try and get the angle better. Not satisfied with the angle. Rifan opts to go from the base. The Malgoda.
Move back, move back, move back.
Putting the ball high up. Collection from Udara Madhushankar. Wasn't need, but Samuel Madhuanta coming away with that. Rifan to Jai Vikrama. Puts ball to boot. Inside the 22 meters. I think the defender didn't get the timing right on Shanika Viyangoda.
Without the ball.
Early tackle is a call by referee Ravin Alexander there. Interesting one at the back there. Udara Madhushan juggled that ball. And did he kind of pat it down while he was on the floor? That was an interesting one there. Samuel Madhuanta will be expecting a little bit more from the players in front of him in helping field these kicks. Kante Malgoda takes that forward by at least 2 meters before he kicks it. But again, it's a very good touch finder from the experienced Air Force player.
Well, it has been a very interesting dynamic from Air Force, how they
Havelock number 1, please.
change Idda Malgoda and Ishara Madhushan, who are in the 10-15 jersey throughout the game as well. Madhushan has been preferred as the first 5'8" this game. Yes, Madhushan gives it to Padma Sankar. Afa looking to break through, straighten things up and makes it available at the back. Good quick ball. Slow delivery by Akalanka.
Okay, release it now.
Madhushan to Padma Sankar. Lost his footing. It's a little wet underfoot conditions here at Havelock Park. A massive brain fade from Manuka Pereira. This is why the backs hate the front rowers in front of them, but this time it was a bunch of forwards who were penalized.
Manuka Pereira just didn't have the brakes to stop himself. He knew even before it happened what was going to happen, but like an 18-wheeler truck, Just took a little bit of time to put the air brakes on, disc brakes on. But that was unfortunate because he's taken his team back a good 40 meters. And that's him coming in. And he knew he needed to stop, wanted to get out of the way, and very clearly obstructed the defensive line.
They could have ideally slipped and fallen, and everybody would have believed him. Now Fajuddin knows exactly where this needs to go. And opts to go to number 6, setting it up are the pink shirts. Collapsing the ball were the Armin, so referee playing advantage as Udesh Madhushankar breaks away. So penalty incoming, free roll of the dice for the home team, who'll most probably want to go to the sides again, Shanaka.
Yes, the line out has been working well. They scored off the line out as well. And that one looked like it had a bit of momentum too, so absolutely they should go to the corner early on in this game.
That's when Madhushankar broke through that, but the infringement, I believe, was a couple of seconds earlier, where the Armin brought down that mole illegally.
What about the defense on Vasova there, or Dilshar Kodagoda on the far side? He looked like he had a bit of space. Shem Mendes again.
Advantage, knees on the ground.
Havis setting it up again, playing with advantage as Air Force were looking to defend it with their knees on the ground. Jaya Vikrama goes for the cross kick because penalty was incoming. Still alive, Shem Mendes collecting it. Samuel Madhushankar, Madhwantarada, Fajuddin loses it forward, but they will go back to the penalty.
That's their favoured method of attacking. Sandesh Jayavikrama to Jayatu Rajaratna on that far wing, but Air Force seem to have been prepared for it. Very clear instructions. You had the knee on the ground, and that's a tactic that players use, but this time it's Janito Fernando who's taken it quickly.
Roll away! No hands! Stay back, stay back, stay back! Advantage!
Advantage in favour of Havis. Air Force really putting their bodies on the line defensively, but not getting their discipline right as Janito Fernando. Vijay Ratna.
Advantage.
No advantage, so they will go back to the penalty. 3 penalties back to back now.
Captain. Yes.
Clearly, referee Ravin Alexander will have to have a word.
Right? Mall එකේ ටක්නෝ ටෝල් එකක් තියෙනවා. එකම තැන 5 මීටර් එකේ. හරි? ඔප්ෂන්ස් යනවා රෙඩි. පෙනල්ටිස් යනවා රෙඩි. right? ඔය මැනේජ් කරගන්න ටීම් එකට කතා කරන්න. ඔය වරේ ෆෝල්.
So clear instructions from referee Alexander saying the discipline needs to improve. Have a word to your team, and Sharaka Veralla saying, I'll look after it, sir, don't worry. And that's where the captain needs to make sure that he steps up and the players need to support him. Because Air Force have been the architects of their own undoing so far. 15 minutes into the game, still early doors, but still Havelocks have looked dominant so far.
Now this line out is going to be crucial for Air Force. Ideally, I'd like to see them try and contest this one, Shanika, because Havelock so far have gotten it easy when it comes to the close line-outs. If they try and stop that maul from ever happening rather than trying to defend it. Havis now setting it up.
Knock back.
Knock back, says the referee, despite the ball jutting out. Fajuddin picking it up. Here's Madhushankar looking to put pressure. Air Force with a brilliant work.
Coming from sideways.
Some terrific work from Air Force with that counter-ruck. They waited, and on the third time masking, made sure that they put pressure where they should and have earned that penalty.
Well, that's a huge momentum shift for a team that relies on their driving maul as much as Havelocks do. That was a really important stop for Air Force. the Havies will want to go back and have a look at why exactly that ball squirted out. They're really not the kind of team that allows that to happen. But Air Force, despite being under the pump, despite being on a warning by the referee, really took it to them. So that might be a little bit of a momentum shift now we're in the 16th minute of this game. Is that where Air Force start to come slowly back into this half, because it's been all Havies so far. See if you can see it here, Sudarshan.
Yeah, I mean, with a dedicated shove, and Havies for some reason trying to get that ball out in a hurry as Saraka Viral carries it from the line out. Shamika Kaushan has been an important cog in the wheel of the Amen Akalanka. Now with the kick from the base, Vijay Ratna underneath that, Janidu looking to run, comes through the middle, good defensive tackle from Makalanka. Havies looking to counter. Here's Kodagoda, gives it to Madhushankar. Met with tackle by Afawasua. And the Airmen have been absolutely brilliant on their counter-rucking work as Jai Vikrama looks to carry, offloads to Faiz. Beg your pardon, Faiz now looking to straighten the line. This is very good from the Havies. Jai Vikrama breaks the first tackle. Can't get away the second of Manuka Pereira. Havies still keeping it alive. Rifan to Fajuddin, who spins around. Rifan wants the forwards to try and get in on the act, and carrying forward is Dilshan. Faiz underneath the post, just outside 5 meters out. The Park Club, Udara Madhushankar, who's been involved a couple of times this game. Now Kodagoda. In the corner are the Havies. Good pressure. Ganti Damalgoda gets a boot to it. Rifan looking to secure it and save it.
No hands right in front. No hands, no hands.
Havies now under the pump as Air Force turns that around. Where's that kick call for? Could have been ideal if they had attempted for a 50-22, because there was absolutely no one at the back and there was acres of space available for the Airmen. Now Havies back in their own 50. Not going to be ideal for most of the forwards, isn't it? Because they've got a lot of running, up and down running, as Rifan yet again has to do a lot of work. Beg your pardon, that time it's Dilshar Kodagoda. Again, ball comes out of the way of Air Force. Advantage in favor of them. Can they go for that equalizer which will really liven this game up? Iddamalgoda decides to go in himself. Didn't really have a plan. But now opportunity for Air Force.
Line offside. To the shoulder.
It's Johnny Fernando who came through not from the hindmost foot and gave away a penalty. But you are right, Sudarshan. I don't think that kick was called for, and if it was, it needed to go much deeper so that Air Force could pour through, because nobody was at the back. But Vishal Akalanka, it's the inexperience showing from the number 9 for Air Force. Something that they will review, I'm sure, and have a look at. Gante Iddamalgoda is pretty sure from this kind of range. Yes, Dilshara Kodagoda did really well to get back. Sharaka Veralda, the skipper, playing a captain's innings so far. It's a bit untidy at the breakdown, but you can very clearly see Johnny Fernando never onside. It's pretty cynical, and he never attempted to get back. He knew that if the line was breached there, they were in trouble, so he gave away the penalty, and Ganthi Damalgoda will try to make it count on the scoreboard.
Important for Air Force to try and get points on the board. But for Havelock Sports Club, Shanaka, you were here for the season opener at the Park Club as Iddamalgoda strays from the uprights. That season opener,
Boys.
which
Wait in there.
was an
Nothing,
incredible
nothing.
game if you were a neutral fan. But if you were a fan of the Park Club, you would have been extremely frustrated, Shanaka. And you can see signs of that creeping into this game as well. Soon after they scored those 5 points, it seemed like they had switched off.
Yes, they're doing well, and they need to maintain that intensity for the entire half first, and then think about the second half later on. So that's something that Havelocks need to make sure they get right in their heads. They've got the talent to win this league. I don't think anybody's disputing that. But a couple of results just haven't gone their way, and this is a really important game for them. And Havelocks will want to make sure, especially now that CRN FC have lost, CHN FC are travelling up to Nittavala, every result counts. And with the CHN FC foreigners coming into play, I think it's going to be a very hotly contested league, this Maliban League, Sudarshana. So Havelocks will have to make sure that they don't get themselves down too much on that first draw that they had. They need to stay in the game and make sure all the other results count and let the other outcomes of the games speak for themselves.
Yes, I think you are spot on, Sonika. This league is even a little more interesting because at the end of the first 2 rounds, you're not looking for that solitary number 1 spot. You're looking for 2 teams who are going to try and go the distance in that one final game, which keeps the league title open up until the last day of the league. So it's going to be important how you finish your first round, yes, but it's even more important that you finish within the first 2 at the end of the super round.
Just get there, make sure you keep tapping at the door and be in the right place in the right week, Sudarshana. That's all they need to do. It's a 22-meter dropout. And I think that water break might have just helped Havelocks a little bit.
His was what? Being held up. This is incredible, isn't it? More ball. And that's going to be taken personal by Afa.
Well, that's an interesting one. You can see Afa questioning referee Ravin Alexander. And I think he might want to have a look at that, but Johnny the Fernando never let him go. Johnny the Fernando went to the floor, but there was no tackle because Afa Valasova did not go to ground. The tackler's gone to ground, and he didn't let him go. He got right back up. So it's really technical, but it looks like referee Ravin Alexander made the correct call.
Yeah, what the opportunity Johnny Fernando had was the fact that Afa never went to the ground. He was always on his feet, making a ball playable as Havis look to run. Samuel Madhuanta seems like he has injected some pace into his arsenal while in that recovery room, but the Air Force yet again. This is brilliant, and that's going to be a penalty. You have to be on your feet to play the ball, and the Air Force, their counter-rucking has been impeccable in these opening minutes.
That's Shem Mendes, who knew exactly what he was doing but did it anyway, and none of the Havelocks forwards are complaining about that. Rumesh Vasanta doing a good job at the breakdown there for the Air Force lads, and Garanthi Damalgoda, who I thought should have done a little bit better with that kick at goal. Sudarshana, he would have expected 3 points, and I think his forwards deserve that 3 points.
Yeah, Air Force need to take all the chances that are coming their way. As you take a look at the Air Force forwards, we spoke about the Havis forwards, but look at the airmen. The intention was clear, isn't it? Going across, supporting your body weight and making sure that you are in play, on your feet in that breakdown, really making them and getting them the good decisions coming their way. As Sarika Viral saving that ball for Air Force, quick ball out, and that's a big tackle from Johnny De Fernando, whose pride is hurt. Now Manuka Pereira looking to break, but met with Amituai. Free ball kicked at by Udara Lakshan. the Malgoda now from the 22 meters. Ball falls in no man's land and treks into the 22. Refund to Madhuanta. Puts in a big clearance and brings play to the 40-meter mark.
Well, I don't know if the Air Force bench was watching, but Samuel Madhuanta was trudging back there. Doesn't look like he's at full fitness. And if Gantha Malgoda has any sense, he'd be looking to try and run the Havelock's fullback side to side. Something that Vishal Akalanka also could maybe want to think about. But Havelock's once again profiting from the fact that Air Force are kicking the ball to them. So, it's been a proper old arm wrestle, 5 points to 0. Hasn't been scintillating rugby, but it's still pretty close.
Well, this could be trouble for Mendes.
This one in the last morning. Play udayiddi koyala I think adinna ba. Play touch enna ba, right? Last warning. Next time will be next option. Okay, go back.
Young Wesleyite Mendes, just off his school season, has a little bit more extra energy than some of the lads on the park. He gave away the earlier penalty as well, Shanaka, back-to-back penalty. So another senior player just needs to put his arm around him and say, just calm down, lad.
You can see the frustration from Shem Mendes. And even though this Havelock's forward pack has a bunch of big names in it, they probably maybe need to do a bit of work on their conditioning. Mendes feels like he's out in front of everyone. Can't make contact with the player in the air. Would have been nice to get a more ground level camera angle on that. That's what you talk about, painting pictures, isn't it, Sudarshana? A lot of what the international players say is the picture you paint for the referee. So sometimes it's not even what you do or don't do, it's about what picture the referee is seeing. And if you stick your hand there in between the catcher's arms, you're asking for trouble.
This time,
leave it.
Up,
Now move!
Offside! Again, Shem Mendes, the culprit who's been caught in the middle. Air Force looking to go forward. Mendes needs to get away and come back round as Air Force still marches forward. Inside the 22 are the airmen. Ball at the hand of Kaushan. Now transferred back. This is brilliant from Air Force. Once called by the referee.
Shem Mendes has got in there and he's got his hand on the ball.
Some more collapse. Going back for the penalty.
Referee Alexander comes back for the penalty. So another penalty incoming in favor of the Armin, who absolutely needs to get some points on the board from this Shanakam. Their visits to the 22 of the Havis have been pretty rare. What will they opt to do here?
I think they've got to go for the corner unless Gantha Malgoda is confident and seems to have taken the attacking option. Yes, Vijay Veera getting back very quickly to make sure he saw where the ball went out, and it's on the 5-meter line. So it's a difficult one, isn't it, where players are not changing their binds but getting swung around to the wrong position. It looks much worse than it is, but it's something that really has to be looked at very carefully. Mendes coming over the top there. You can't swim over as well, so he's got to be a little careful.
Another opportunity. Here's Kaushan. This time it goes to number 4. Initial surge from Havelock Sports Club have been negotiated by the airmen, who breaks away, creates another one. Kaushan, big hit on Jaya Vikrama. Now the Air Force forwards. Yet again. Accidental offside, and that's cardinal from the Armin. They've worked hard. Kaushan, big hit on the opposition, first 5-8, but look what happens here. Akalanka. More taken up by what he managed to do to the opposition rather than watching where the ball was in play.
Yes.
Pays the price.
Yes, Vishal Akalanka needs to just calm down a little bit. Don't think he's serving his team at the moment. Maybe a rush of blood, few too many kicks. They just want to feed the experienced men. Ishara and Gayantha outside him. It's a big scrum. This is where Havelocks will back themselves. Chatura Dilshan at the back for Havelocks, wearing the number 22 jersey, but we want him coming off the back. Give a little bit of an angle.
Right? HLS comes here, right? But options are just make it steady, okay? Made come boys, made it.
That's an important word that referee Alexander used there. Make it steady. And that's what both teams really need to do before the ball is put in. And the referees will be emphasizing that to make sure that the safety angle is looked at.
Yeah, also given the fact that it's quite soggy, wet underfoot conditions. Air Force putting in a big challenge. Out comes Chatura Dilshan. He stopped at the 5-meter mark. Refund to Madhuanta, who dutifully clears only as far as the 22-meter mark. So again, good intention shown by the Air Force forwards to try and put pressure on the scrum.
Had to snatch at that one. Madhuanta under quite a bit of pressure. Chatura Dilshan just couldn't get too far over the gain line. Really good tackling by Rumesh Vasanta again in the open side for Air Force. But still inside the 22, so it will be important for Air Force to try and come away with some points, even if it's just 3. You really need to get something for the pressure that they're exerting at the moment. But again, another stoppage. Not sure what this is for. It's for the ball.
Ready? Time back on.
Sarka Virala has been managing the referee so very well from the beginning of the game. Shanaka setting it up. Adya Amen yet again, now into the 22 meters, goes forward. Yet again another penalty. Maul being brought down illegally. Collapsing the maul, so Air Force putting some pressure on that Havies forwards. They know that's their strong suit. To try and go against them is brilliant by Air Force, and some of these lads, despite not having big names in their ranks, Shanaka, are playing like a unit.
Yes, they certainly are. And Shem Mendes again picked the pocket of the Air Force maul. I'll be really interested to see how he managed to do that. It's the second time he's done that in quick succession. So he's made it his business to make sure he steals the ball. Look at him coming over, and well, he's a bit lucky to get away with that, young Shem.
Yeah, back-to-back errors, cynical, some of them trying to be sneaky. Mendes, but Air Force setting this one up. That wet patch is going to be difficult to try and go through. Need to have the ball come out. Air Force ball out in favor of Havelock Sports Club. They've lost it forward. So it'll be a scrum in favor of the Park Club. Not ideal from Air Force, not trying to secure that ball before going forward.
Well, you've got a very good Samoan player in your back line. Why not get the ball to him, Sudarshana, as early as you possibly can? Give him a one-on-one opportunity with much smaller players, Dilchara Kodagoda, who has been brilliant, I have to say. He's fronted up. He hasn't been intimidated by the big man in front of him, but the mauling has left a little bit to be desired today. There's not enough of a secure happening there. Sharaka Veral, I think, will want to have a look at that one again and work on his technique.
Bye. Set. Steady.
Harris with the put-in. Dilshan will want to break from the back as Havelocks have gotten some forward momentum. Air Force doing very well not to disengage, making it Shoving sideways was finally the crime that they've been caught out for, the airmen. So Havis will be quite relieved at the fact that they've managed to get away without conceding any points after that long stay by the Air Force inside their 22.
Yes, the defences have held on both ends of the field. Air Force when Havelocks were attacking, and now Havelocks when Air Force have been attacking for long periods. Once again, you can see that the Sri Lankan teams, their go-to is the maul, Sudarshana. And that's a great weapon to have in your armory. But when it's the only weapon you have, or the only thing you're willing to try, then I think as much as Sri Lanka Rugby are trying to get crowds back into the game, I think clubs also and coaches and players need to maybe think of the spectators a little bit. As purist as I am, I don't enjoy watching mauls all day.
Havis this time opting to make sure that they use their forwards from the middle. Dilshan carrying the ball forward for the Park Club. Rifan now putting the ball to boot. Veyangoda was under a lot of pressure from Madhushankar. Losing the ball forward, looking at the oncoming Madhushankar. It's opportunity now for Havis to attack from the opposition half.
Udesh, Madhushankar has been playing like a winger so far. Sudarshana, he's been everywhere where the ball is, and he's been chasing the kicks like nobody's business. Really put a lot of pressure on Veyangoda. Forced a knock on. Lovely kick by Rifan as well, that left boot. Got to expect it when he's on his left side.
Okay. Crouch.
Just taking his eyes off the ball, Veyangoda.
Bind.
Needed to get up a little higher.
Set. Steady.
It's a good attacking scrum for Havis.
Rifan with the put in. Jai Vikrama to Dilshan. Yet again, Havis trying a little too much, and Rifan has to rescue it. There was a scrum formed, ruck formed rather. It's a ball from the referee just on the 22-meter mark, and extremely kickable for Samuel Madhuanta, and I think Havis will be very happy to try and make it an 8-point game.
A nice work from Kodagoda once again, using the big Amituanai Visesio as a decoy and then straightening the run. Look at him here, just showing and going, and you can see that Veyangoda had to recover pretty quickly. Samuel Madhuanta getting the offload away, and Rifan picking that ball up, but managing to win the penalty in the end. So good work there from Havelocks all around.
Back on.
The Park Club has opted to go for the 3. Samuel Madhuanta has a massive range in his boot, but how has that been affected from the injury? It has not, as he gets the easy 3. 8-0 Havis in front. 35 minutes on our clock. It has been a stop-start affair, Shanaka, but the good thing is the ball has been in play most times than not. But if you're a purist, you're going to love this game, but if you're looking for action, it hasn't delivered.
Well, I think you really need to maybe see these two Samoan boys with the ball in hand a little bit more often. You don't bring in good foreign players and keep the ball with the 8 all the time, especially not in the red zone, Sudarshan. I think the coaches also need to get a bit used to having the fact that they have a foreign player who can maybe create things in the side a little bit more. And here he is now, Junior, busting off a couple of tackles. Here's Madhuanta, just got his team more than 1 score ahead.
You have to come from the gate.
Not rewarding Vasova there. Praveen Alexander very correctly saying that he didn't come through the gate. Rifan. Here's Shem Mendes. Needs to get the ball away, and he does exactly that. Dilshad Akoda got a lovely show and go. Mendes again, and Veyangoda makes a last-ditch tackle on the try scorer. Rifan. Faiz. Havelocks now with their tails up. Big carry that time from Nisal Silva, his first touch of the half.
Roll away, roll away!
Johnny the Fernando waits at the back. Rifan orchestrating things at the back. Shem Mendes will be bypassed and Fajuddin will get the ball. Rifan again. Kodagoda with a lovely little pop pass to Jayavikrama, who was coming round. Faiz again with some good footwork. Nisal Silva again.
Roll away, Mike! Roll away! Advantage! Not rolling away.
Slow ball, but because Air Force were infringing, here's Rifan. Sudesh Jayavikrama didn't want the advantage. He made sure of that. Put the kick in and went back to the penalty.
Jayavikrama getting making use of that advantage. We want to go to the corner, Shanaka, because 2 tries to your name in the first half would argue very well in your favor going into that half time.
I don't know about that, Sudarshana. If it's a last move, I would have taken the 3 points. It's an easy gimme 3 for Samuel Madhuantha. And yes, they're being brave, but just before half time, bank the 3.
Well, if Abyss can score one, they will be the ones laughing at the end. It seems like you requested, Visesio might be called into action here, Shanaka.
Set! Steady!
Very fun with the feet. Dilshan at the back. Jayavikrama, in comes Dilshan. Dilshan goes right underneath the post. Air Force could have held him up in goal, but brought him outside. Opportunity still available for the Havis. Rifan digs it. Advantage in favor of Havis. Now Faiz goes through, and Abdullah Faiz, that's deserved for the Havis forwards. Goes in for the second commercial bank try. 13 points to nil. Havis in front. And the Air Force will be very, very disappointed.
Yes, I thought they had done enough to get Dilshad Akoda over the line and hold him up there. But again, what a beautiful mazy run from the center, making sure that everyone's following the junior Visesio on defense. And in the end, it's Abdullah Faiz who profits. And instead of just a 3 and banking the 3 like I wanted them to do, they've got 7 instead of 5 with 2 to come. Well, it's 2 10-pointers and a 3 from the boot of Samuel Madhuantha. He'll be a bit disappointed. He's a better kicker than that on his home ground as well, Sudarshana. So I think they've left a few points on the park, 5 of them to be exact, or 4 of them to be exact. Shem Mendes has been a live wire, although he might have been a little lucky not to get a bit more attention from referee Ravin Alexander. And Shamika Kaushan, who has scored quite a few tries for Air Force, will be hoping to score a couple in the second half as well. But it's been an arm wrestle of a first half. Hasn't been pretty, but I think we have much more to go in the second.
This halftime confirmation, 13 points to nil. And the home team in front looking to make sure that they put in their best foot forward in this second half as well. We'll go in for a quick commercial break, and when we return, we will have the highlights of the first half.
සුවයට ලං කළා ඒ සතුටේ පැහැයන් සොයා අතුරා සිටින සරසා මන්සල එලි කළා
ලංකෙම් රුපියලක් සතුටෙන් උපන් පැහැයක අසිරිය අසම සම ස්මාර්ට් ඔප්ෂන් සමගින් 125cc බලයෙන් සියල්ලටම ඉහළින් TVS Raider 125 the full option bike
බෑග්වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මා ගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
Love Rugby,
live rugby
Prima Kotumi, fun තමයි.
ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් එකක් නැද්ද මුදලාලි අතන කඩේ 140ක් දෙන්නම් කිව්වා.
බෑග්වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මා ගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
Keep pushing the limits. No matter what your fitness goal is, we are always there by you, with you. Iodex. Get. Spray. Go.
ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් එකක් නැද්ද මුදලාලි අතන කඩේ 140ක් දෙන්නම් කිව්වා.
බෑග්වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මා ගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
එතකොට මහත්තයාට උනේ ටයිල් ඇඩිසිව් ග්‍රවුට් වෝටර්ප්‍රූෆින් ස්කිම් කොට් නේ.
ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් එකක් නැද්ද මුදලාලි අතන කඩේ 140ක් දෙන්නම් කිව්වා.
බෑග්වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මා ගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
අසම සම ස්මාර්ට් ඔප්ෂන් සමගින් 125cc බලයෙන් සියල්ලටම ඉහළින් TVS Raider 125 the full option bike
Love Rugby,
live rugby
Prima Kotumi, fun තමයි.
Keep sweating. No matter what your fitness goal is, we are always there by you, with you. Iodex. Get. Spray. Go.
Perfectly. Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න. Perfectly Swiss Tech Aluminium. නඩත්තු වියදම් නැති ජාත්‍යන්තර සහතික සමග වසර 30ක් දක්වා වගකීමක් ඇති Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
අසම සම ස්මාර්ට් ඔප්ෂන් සමගින් 125cc බලයෙන් සියල්ලටම ඉහළින් TVS Raider 125 the full option bike
Keep rising. No matter what your fitness goal is, we are always there by you, with you. Iodex. Get. Spray. Go.
Welcome back to the live action brought to you from Havelock Park, and we are ready for the second half action. But first half, Havis managing to go into lemons with 13 points in nil as Jai Vikram started off the proceedings. Didn't get on to a great start, Air Force.
This was the first try that Air Force scored. Janitha Wijayaratne diving over in the corner after some really good work with that driving maul, which went about 15 meters, the first one. But since then, the driving mauls have left a little bit more to be desired, and Abdullah Fai is going over just before half time. And Air Force will be really disappointed with that, Sudarshana, that they allowed that try just before a half where they have been quite combative. But I think these supporters will want a little bit more running rugby from their team. Guys like Gayanthi Damalgode, he's got a good boot, but he's also got a great step. So you want to get him in and taking it to the line. Maybe we might see that shift. Ishara Madhushan going back to fullback and Gayanthi Damalgode coming to the fly half position. It'll be interesting to see whether they will do that, whether this was the half that they were going to kick and try to tire out this Havelock's team, whether that was part of their game plan. We'll find out all those things in a few moments, Sudarshan, as the young lads looking on as well.
I believe that's the Dons team, the TSN Anaika team, having made their way to see some of their old teammates turning out for Havelock Sports Club, and their first 15 coach calling shots with the Airmen. Crowd turning out here despite the gloomy conditions and all the holiday cheer. Last minute shopping, it felt like a weekday morning coming into Havelock Park today. Plenty of vehicles on the road.
Yes, I think there's plenty of shopping next door to Havelock, so finding a parking spot was a little bit of a challenge, even early doors.
Well, in comparison to some of the school games that are played here, Shanaka, it wasn't too much of trouble finding parking as the home team make their way out to the field. Will want to make sure that they put this game beyond any question within that first 23rd quarter of the game. They will want to put in a big performance.
It's a bit of a lethargy around the game, and that's something that I think the teams will need to pick up very quickly. I think perhaps because of the break, I think the conditioning aspect might have been ignored just a little bit. So I think we'll see the teams, especially because it's a bit of a long season and you've got an extra game as well, and the intensity comes back towards the end of the season, especially for these top teams, that they may be just saving themselves. Maybe the strength and conditioning coaches are periodizing it a little bit differently. And now that they've lost 2 weeks of no intensity rugby, especially mid-season unexpectedly, might be having a bit of an impact on these teams. But I think in the last 40 minutes, both these teams will really need to step up a little bit.
Yeah, those 2 weeks, it's always difficult, isn't it, to try and come back from that when you have an unplanned stoppage. Because as a coach, as a strength and conditioning trainer, you are building up to the competition. Referee Abekon wanting to have a word with the two skippers.
සීල් කරන්න කොහමද chance එකක් නැහැ. හරි? ඒ නිසා පුළුවන් තරම් players හට කියන්න feet එකේ ඉන්න. හරි? feet එකේ හිටියේ නැත්නම් ඊළඟ පාර next time මේගොල්ලන් පල්ලයට ගියොත් මම ඒක අනිවාර්යෙන් sealing off එකට call කරනවා. හරි? Okay?
So just before the start of the half, referee Alexander saying, guys, don't lose your feet in the ruck. And I think that's a really important message to be sent. And Afa Sava shakes his head, but referee Alexander said he will chat to him later. But a good message to be sent out to the teams to stay on their feet. I think there's been a bit too much flopping in this game, and that's made the ball a little bit slow. Malgora to start.
Fortunating trying to collect that, he makes absolute hash of that. He wouldn't be happy with himself. That's a very good restart from Midda Malgoda. Got some good height. Fajudeen wasn't in the ideal position to collect that ball. Still moving when he went for it.
Might have misread it because now they're playing against the wind. It'll be interesting to see what the wind does to this team. Havelocks, I think, were playing with the wind in the first half. So Vishal Akalanka will be looking to maybe run a little bit more this time.
Now to Madhushan, gives it to Afa. Crashes straight in, but very well defended by Udesh Madhushanka, who's been fabulous. Madhushan to Idda Malgoda. In goes Veeraratna, Rumesh Vasantarada. Idda Malgoda to Madhushanka. Cut out pass to the corner. And Pramod Padmasanka goes in for Air Force. Madhushan, Idda Malgoda, Pereira, Manuka Pereira straightening it up into the 22 meters is the big prop. Quick ball from Idda Malgoda, that's going to be a penalty in favor of the Armen. This is a very good start from Air Force.
Deliberate knock on in the tackle, says referee Alexander, and it's not a yellow card because it's in the tackle, but there was a bit of intent from the defender there. If you can see that one again, we'll show you exactly why he escaped the yellow card. And you can see the Malgoda being injected into that first receiver position in the second half already, Sudarshana. He's touched the ball a couple of times, and this was a good break from Manuka. Up against his opposite number, Abdullah Faiz, who hangs on for dear life and didn't get out of the way in time either.
Dilshan that time. Here's Safo setting it up. Barala breaks and goes on the short side. Still outside the 5 meters are the Armen, keeping it with the forwards. Big carry that time by Malisha Virakon. Air Force forwards hustling. Now fourth carry. Vishal goes to the corner. Ishara Madhushanka. Ishara still going. Stopped inches away.
One shot.
Short is the call from the referee. Forwards looking to attack. Acres of space on the open side. They've lost it forward. Advantage coming, but do you give away ball cheaply? Like that, Rumesh Vasanta was the guilty party, losing it forward.
Good period of pressure from Air Force. I thought Afa thought he went over, but he was just short. Needed to recycle that much faster. And if they got that ball, then things would have been a little bit different. But interesting call from Air Force, asking for the scrum, an area of the game where Havelocks are far superior in. And that's going to be an interesting call. Let's see whether Havelocks will scrum for the penalty here, or whether Air Force can get this back quickly.
In Padmasanka and Afa, Air Force have a formidable centre pairing who haven't come to the party still. Can they bring them on to play here? From this scrum, we will have to wait and see. But Havis will want to try and nip it in the bud and put in a big scrum performance. And it's Havis who come away with that. Was it the ideal call to be made? Because like Shanaka mentioned, Havis have a larger set of forwards who can really put you under the pump, and they come away with the penalty.
Well, let's have a look at that one again. See exactly where it happened. They were really under pressure. As Samuel Madhuwantha, fortunately, kicks this to the most dangerous runner in the Air Force team, Gayantha Idda Malgoda. Dragged down by Mendes. Oh, it's a great No, it's not. It's not a great turnover. And Mendes, third time lucky.
That would have been a yellow card if the referee did spot Idris Mendes, because this is the third cynical attempt
Offside.
by Mendes.
This is their first scrum. You can see Sharaka Veralla. And there was a hand in there by the far side flank. I think it might have been Rumesh Piris. Ooh, that's that's a comedy of errors somehow. Both players not able to prevent that ball from going out.
Well, the kicker himself would have had his heart in his mouth as well.
Straight line.
Shamika Kaushan
Straight line.
will want his lifters to execute this one to perfection. Now we are first change in direction, ball coming out in quick motion. Now the forwards rallying for the Air Force. Manu Papare with the carry. Baralla, the skipper. Vishal goes to the short side again in the Malgoda to Afa. The Malgoda could have gone himself. Nilanta Jayavira gets his knees on the ground. Kaushan into the 5 meters. The latch not great from the Air Force, still managing to get ball out. Madhushankar. Afa. That's going to be a penalty in favor of Havis. Vicesio delighted that he got one over his fellow countryman.
We have to say that's not good enough, is it? Sudarshana, you expect your foreign stars to finish from that distance. And you can see that they're still coming to terms with the humidity and heat that you have to play rugby in this part of the world. And sometimes I don't think we appreciate our players enough, Sudarshana, that they actually do put up the kind of performances they do in this kind of heat. Replacements coming off the bench for Air Force. We have Sashika Fernando coming in the number 6 jersey. And it looks like Isuru Jayaratna, who will be replacing Amila Kumara. Here's a penalty, big step off the left foot, but you can see Madhushankar has been really shadowing Afa Vahovasa. He's made some really telling tackles on it, and that time, as you said, Amituanai Vicesio making the difference at that breakdown.
Havis with the put-in. This time again goes to Shem overthrown, who manages to collect it. Big defensive effort that time by Sasika Fernando. Malish Virakon.
It was a big hit, and was there
TMO. For me, it's a high tackle, foul play. I just want to check the contact point.
Okay, you want to check the foul play by Air Force.
Jeffrey Alexander wanting to check foul play by Air Force number 5, Malisha Virakon.
They'll have to go back to the front, please.
He wants the high tackle checked where the point of contact was. Here's Virakon flying in on on Udara Lakshan. Let's have a look where the first point of contact is.
Play pallata no. Yeah. Only mitigation factor එක. යට යන එක විතරයි. Yes. Mitigate කරන්න පුළුවන් එකම point එක ඇවිල්ලා play යට යන එක විතරයි.
Recommendation for the team also. Where's on shoulder?
Alex, have a look at it. For me, it's head to shoulder contact.
That may be the only
Head to shoulder contact by the Air Force player.
aspect that's
For me,
saving
the pink play is getting down.
Virakon.
So
the fact that
there's a mitigation factor. So I am happy with the yellow card. Any recommendation?
Yellow card is, I think, appropriate. Thank you.
Yeah, I am happy with the yellow card. Thank you.
Yeah, referee Alexander, after reviewing, he's happy
Number
to
5
over the
captain.
yellow card because despite that dip from Udara Lakshan, Malish Virakon is just not doing enough to paint that picture that you were speaking about, Shanika, to show that he bent low enough.
Okay. Yeah. Pallata nisa. Clear? Okay. So. Yeah. Okay. I'm starting from penalty.
Malish Virakon probably shouldn't think too much about that and be happy that he's just got the 10 minutes in the bin.
Starting from it.
And I think they were under instruction to make sure that they aggressively defend.
Time back on.
But he was a little upright in that contact, wasn't he? And that's something that always will put the tackler in trouble, as Jahan Bulatsingalage will use his very long boot to put Havelocks in an attacking position. Former Thomian skipper coming onto the park in place of the former Antonian skipper, Samuel Madhuantha. He wanted to rest that starting position of Madhuantha, of course. It's Rajaratna who's just come onto the pitch.
Malish Virakon with his head hanging down will be disappointed that he has forced his team to play with 14 men on the park.
Time back on.
Bulatsingalage, it's going to be interesting to see how Bulatsingalage operates. Shanika, he can play in that number 10 jersey as well. But with him coming in, seems like Samuel Madhuantha has moved up to the number 10 slot and cannot really see Jaya Vikram on field for Havis. That's a horror pass from Rifan Jonathan Fernando there to salvage it for the Park Club. That's a good hustle, and that time around absolutely no problem from the Air Force defender.
Well, that's an interesting change, and I can only think that the change has been forced by injury. I wouldn't have taken Jaya Vikram off, and I wouldn't have thought Samuel Madhuantha had an 80 minutes in him either, Sudarshana. So it's probably a shift that has been forced by an injury. So I can see already that because Madhuantha hasn't played in that fly half position for a while, and Rifan Mohammed also, it's a big change knowing who you're passing to. Every fly half wants it in a different position, at a different point on his body. So these things do come in to make a difference, not just to the player, but also to the player who is in a combination with him.
Brilliant work by Sasco Fernando that time, knowing exactly what to do. He was the tackler assist. He had all the right to that ball. An opportunity for Air Force now.
Sri Lanka squad member Sashika, so he will be expected to really put a shift in. Here he is with the ball again.
Fernando making it available. Akalanka to fresh legs. Nirmal Vikramasinghe carrying it forward for Yami.
Get back, get back, get back!
Fernando with another carry. Air Force opting to keep it close to the forwards before we spread it out wide. Onto the short side, here's Pradma Sankar. Shem Mendes getting an important tackle. Akalanka Iddamalgoda to Manuka Pereira, who somehow manages to hold on to it. Akalanka Iddamalgoda now to Madhushankar Afa. Akalanka to Iddamalgoda, who's moved on to that first 5/8 first receiver position. Seems like the assistant referee has spotted something and wants to have a chat with the referee.
Are you happy with the penalty? You're happy with the penalty only? Number 7!
Once again a tackle by Madhushan.
Deliberately. Dangerous. Last warning. Okay? So
It's
penalty
not
for
really
you.
arguing there.
Penalty. Go
But
10.
you can see that Madhushan has been given one job,
Back on.
like James Small was given back in 1995.
High and
Stop
dangerous.
Afa Vavavasa, whatever you do, and he's doing that job really well so far.
He's been fabulous, I believe. From the pink jerseys, he's the one who has really stood out, hasn't he? Shanika, take a look at that. Despite the man going down, making sure that he falls on them, and this is where he earns the penalty in the next move.
So, bit of dangerous play, well spotted there by Archana Vijayveera, the assistant.
Ball. Advantage. Lifting.
That's something that they were talking about before the half started as well. And we might see referee having to reach into his pocket.
Clearly. Ada lift karanna bෑ. Drive karanna පුළුවන්. Okay? So penalty.
Well, how many penalties will the home team get away with, Shanika? Because referee's patience must be running thin now. Penalty after penalty in red zone as well. So they will be on notice as Gayantha Iddamalgoda yet again opts to go to touch, definitely in range for him. Just like just before the half time, opting to go for that big finish and 5 points.
That time the maul was already formed, and Nisal Silva lifting the leg in the maul. Very dangerous play. Shamika Kaushan, Ilantha Jayaveera, and here's Rumesh going off the back. Johnny De Silva arguing his case from the floor. Surujaratna. Shamika Kaushan keeping his body position low. It's a gap that opened up to the right, but they didn't see it.
Going down.
Looks like Nisal Asalanka thinks he scored.
Nisal Asalanka, like all number 9s, believes that he needs a referee whistle with him as well while playing the game.
My on-field decision is try. Just want to recheck on the grounding.
Okay, Alex, so your on-field decision is to try. You want me to check whether there was a double movement prior to scoring?
Correct. Agree.
On-field decision try. They will check whether there is any double movement.
Rounded. Only 110.
Director, give me another angle, please.
So it's 1, 10. The second down? Yeah. I think goal is gone.
Go back to the first angle again, please.
It's grounded.
Alex, from the two angles what we saw, there is no clear evidence for me to decide whether the try was scored or not. If you had seen it, ball being rounded, you may award the try, if you are sure of it.
Yeah, Dilo. Thank you. So we'll stay on my on-field decision. Let's try.
Okay.
Well, some very good communication between the television match official and the referee. The man on the ground decided that it was a try. There needed to be conclusive evidence that there was double movement, and referee Dilroy Fernando saying no, he does not have any evidence to call it a double movement. So 5 points, Commercial Bank try for Alpha Sports Club coming through their halfback Vishal Akalanka. And they will want to build from here on, Chanaka, and this is something they haven't been able to do the entire first half. But to become the team that scores first in the second will give them a lot of confidence.
Certainly will. They needed that try, and it's been coming a long time. It's the 55th minute that they managed to get points on the board, and Air Force will be disappointed with that. It's just gone awry.
Yeah, start now. You can't charge.
So looks like they might have another
change
bite
play
at the
again.
cherry with Gayantha Iddamalgoda, who missed that first one. And Havelocks have charged early. So they will get another opportunity to kick.
Well, I believe what happened there was Sudesh Madhushankar had been replaced. He was walking out already. When he was walking up and walking out, they could not charge at Gayantha Iddamalgoda. So Iddamalgoda now, Willie Bay's second time lucky. No pressure.
No.
And again, Iddamalgoda doesn't find the mark.
Will you remember Aaron Cruden in Dublin? 2016, I think it was. Had another crack and managed to nail it. Here's the try. Rolling over and having the ball safe in his grasp, and Jonathan Fernando trying to get under him, but a little too late.
Madhuanta with the restart. Matthews have negotiated the 10 minutes without their man fairly well so far. Havis managed to win that ball back, but have lost it forward.
I think the tap back was actually a tap forward to Junior Visesio. So again, getting away with one there. Air Force, they will want to make it count.
Like we discussed, Shanik, it's going to be interesting when Havis decide to maybe move Samuel Madhuanta and bring Yahan Bulak Singalage, because that injection of pace and energy is something that's lacking in this Havis backline. And Bulak Singalage can get to that front foot ball playing in that number 10 spot. Air Force, Padma Sanka carrying it for them. Here's Akalanka putting the ball to boot. Vijay Ratna. They are the collective. Bulak Singalage to Rajaratna. Here's Kodagoda, who's been a very difficult customer to handle. A cross kick collected by Janaki Vijay Ratna. And Gayantha Iddamalgoda coming away with that. Here's Junior Visesio. Big lad, if he builds up momentum, going to be a hard man to stop, but Havelocks keeping it alive. Kodagoda. to Madhuanta, gives it to Fajruddin. Fajruddin decides to straighten it up. Kick ball out. Here's Rajaratna. Big hit on Bulat Singalage. Guilty of holding up as well, and that Rajaratna
Goal.
needs to make sure that he keeps his aggression under wraps.
Well, that was a hospital pass if there ever was one, wasn't it? Bulat Singalage received it with absolutely nothing that he could do. It was slow ball. They needed to zip it to the corner, and by the time Bulat Singalage got it, the defense was already up in his face, and he got absolutely pummeled. Again, you can see that the instinctive running from this Havelock's team is a little missing, Sudarshana. Used to have the likes of Mithun Hapugoda who spark things, but don't seem to have that spark in the back line. They have two good finishers on the wings, Vijayaratna and Rajaratna, and Dilshara Kodagoda is, I think, doing really good things in the midfield, but smash there. Vesasoa making a big hit, copybook hit on Ihan Bulat Sinhala. Welcome to club rugby.
Kaushal.
It's the third ball that's gone missing from this Havelock Sports Club ground. Somebody over the wall at Henry Pedris Park is profiting from these touch kicks. Finally got one now.
Well, hopefully there's a ball boy at BRC collecting them, Janaka, because that's the third one that went across the park. Kaushal. Quick ball to Akalanka, who puts ball to boot. Rajaratna collecting that. Rajaratna right through the middle. Gets away from Padmasanka, but Ratnayaka managing that grass level tackle. Boot polisher. In desperation, Rajaratna looked like he was through. But Air Force will be breathing so much more easier.
Well, we talked about the finishers, Vijayaratna and Rajaratna, and that's the difference between finishers and creators, isn't it? Rajaratna knew that he'd got space and then suddenly didn't know what to do with it. Ball needed to go, absolutely needed to go to Chatra Dilshad.
Number 9 and 13 wide.
And that's why it's different to be a centre than it is to be a winger, Sudarshana. That instinct, something that we saw Rajaratna just didn't have there.
Kaluarachi being called in to replace Akalanka. Kaluarachi, former Vidyartha first 15 player, playing amongst a lot of his old teammates in this Air Force outfit. Also the former Josephian rugby player Sachin Vaidyanatha has also come on to the park for Havis in the number 19 jersey. So these fresh legs, what change will they do? Mohammad Rifan has been called to the bench as well with Kalindu Silva, who didn't have to change grounds to continue playing after his Isipatana days. Big carry from Sasika Fernando makes it available. Here's Kaluarachi. Kick from base to Rajaratna, who's underneath that. Quick ball out to Madhuanta. Madhuanta to Kodagoda. This time around, Afra says, I'll get one over you, mate. You've been calling the shots, but Kodagoda has been fabulous so far this game.
Well, in this mini battle, I think that's the first one Afa Vausava has actually won, forcing that knock forward. Dilshara Kodagoda has had the number over the Samoan. And you could see the Samoan appreciating that as well. Pats him on the head, and not in an ironic way either, but just recognizing that he has been made to work for every yard. And even here, it's a little bit of sleight of hand. Look at Kodagoda calling Vijayaratna infield, and Vausava stayed in the fight. All that experience.
Alvin coming away with possession. Here's Fernando breaking from the back. Khalid Silva looking to rip that.
No.
We have had Bulat Singh going into the number 10 position now. It's a very high kick, contestable, but not the kind of kick that you want.
Acres of space available at the back, and Vijay Ratna has to do some work. Madhuanta.
Move back.
That was a good bit of pressure that Madhuanta was under. Really good chase from Air Force. But those two kicks, Sudarshana, that Gayanthi Iddamalgoda missed on that one conversion has really changed the game, because it's still an 8-point gap. 13-7, and suddenly the pressure is back on Havelocks. You can see that Abdullah Faiz is asking exactly the question you are asking in the commentary box. Do these players need to retreat when the kick is put up?
Four-man line out from Air Force. Kaushan and Air Force need to make sure that they get one more score. Kaushan this time, brilliant secure handling of the ball.
Advantage. Super knock on the line out.
Knock on off the line out in favor of the Airmen.
Here's the line out again. Shem Mendes just getting up there and disrupting the ball, but for his bad luck, it went just a little further forward than he would have liked.
Crouch! Bind! Set! Step out!
Madhushankar yet again as the first receiver. Affa gives it to Padma Sankar. Here's Arosh Ratnayaka for Air Force. Kalwarachi to Affa. Good defensive work that time by Bulat Singh. However, not rolling away. Kalwarachi to big man Vikramasinghe.
Advantage, your turn is good.
That was Bulat Singh against tackle. It was a really good one. Managed to make sure he tracked and got Afa Vauvasa down, but unfortunately just couldn't roll away in time.
Shanak, yet again, you tend to wonder, is our Madhushan coming back into that number 10 position? It's slowing down the Air Force backs a little bit, but with somebody like Afa on the outside, would it be better if Gayanthi Iddamalgoda operated in that area, because he does bring in that double threat of running with the ball as well.
Well, you can see Afa Vauvasa is trying to do a little bit too much, I think. And he's going looking for the ball now, because he knows that this is what he's been brought here to do, to win games for his team. And he can't do that if he hasn't got the ball in his hand. But I think you've got to go back to the first half and see where Air Force might have let this game slip by not using him as much as they would like to. Set move, and they execute it fairly well, but I think they've coughed the ball up again. Shem Mendes once more getting right into the thick of things. Oh, it's another unnecessary penalty that Air Force Havelocks have given away, despite really shutting Shamika Kaushan down. And the two schoolboys, Vaidyanatha and Shem Mendes, really doing a job.
That they are really becoming a man and individual, but what have is
but next time මට number එක ඇත්තටම out, that will be out. මොකද මේක second time මේක ආයෙ වෙන්න බෑ. හරි? ඔයගලන්ට drive
Well, Well, I believe if referee Alexander really wants to find out that, he can refer it to the television match official to see what the number was, because lifting a player in a maul is extremely dangerous, Shanika, because your ankles, your hamstring, and also even your knee can be really jammed up if that doesn't go your way. And safety of the players are of paramount importance, and it's the second time that has happened from Harris.
Well, yes, I think
pretty
pretty lucky there. See if we can see a number here. Rumesh gets it to the front to Rilantha Jayavira. Couldn't quite see it there. Here it is at the back, but it's been left behind and it's been knocked on by Shamika Kaushan. Oh dear, it's not Air Force's day with this driving maul. And once again, Sudarshana, you have to ask, it's not gone to plan. Why are they sticking to it?
Yeah, I'd prefer for them not to involve all 8 forwards there, Shanika. The problem there is Sasika Fernando, being the first person engaging onto that ball, needs to rip it and secure it. But Sasika Fernando at that time was more involved in setting up the maul. If we can take a look at that maul yet again after this play, maybe we have important viewing for some of the younger rugby fans watching these games, as Kalindu Silva puts it in. And here's the big Samoan centre Visesio carrying it forward only as far as 5 meters. Bulat Singalage with his massive boot coming onto the party, doesn't find touch. Idda Malgoda looking to run. Vijay Ratna up in defence, but Air Force
after contest.
Kaushan to Vikramasinghe. Air Force forwards opting to keep it close. Fernando, big hit on him.
No.
Entering from the side, Kaluarachi taking it quickly. Idda Malgoda. 10 OK is the call from the referee. Needed to release because Gayantha had a knee on the ground. Kaluarachi digging for it and finally getting it through. Vikramarachi now.
Ball out, play on.
Afa now going to the short side. The army isolated there. Padmasanka, Madhusanka now gives it to Jayavira. Vikramasinghe with the carry.
No.
Charan on the park now for Havelock. Another penalty coming in the way of the Airmen. Idda Malgoda with a little dink. Behind the man, still available. Air Force. Padmasanka collects it just outside the try line. Can they go through? Kaluarachi reaches in. Short. Ball available for the Airmen. Madhushanka calling for players to come. This is a great opportunity for Air Force to get their second commercial bank try of the game. 13 points to 5. Short.
Stay back, boys.
Now some fire in the bellies of the Airmen.
So
held up, but where's the advantage over? There were multiple penalties that were being played by referee Alexander, who will want to have a word with the assistant referee.
Number 6 offside advantage. Number 19. Jeevaga. Question.
Good communication there by assistant referee Jeevaka with referee Ravin Alexander. Sachindana Vaidyanatha was the man who was offside.
Offside, number 16. You. 19, yeah.
And they took a scrum. The last time they had an opportunity, they got out scrummed. Going for the line out. And now, finally, after squandering so many opportunities at goal, they are now going for 3.
I really got to ask the question, isn't it, Shanak? A couple of more penalties, if they had converted, they would have gotten more than 9 points. They definitely had more than 3. With the Margaret putting in a little dink, catching the Air Force team, entire team, by surprise as well. Kaluarachi looking to snipe through. With the Margaret lining it up, and no, not successful yet again. That's a very easy one, Shanak, and he has had a day to forget with the boot.
Absolutely. That's why they haven't been taking the 3s, because he's just been terrible off the tee today. Starting from the first half, he had a very kickable one. And Jai Vikrama looks like he's back. This is actually Sudesh rather, who's come back. His brother has been off, hopefully not with too much of an injury. Sandesh, the skipper.
Number 6.
Vijay Ratna being called to the bench. And Shem Mendes has been called to the bench as well. Dodangora coming in for Havelocks in the number 29 jersey. Madhuanta still on the pitch.
Okay, all good.
So a couple of the finishers coming in for the Park Club in the last 10 minutes. Shanaka, no bonus point for the team Havelocks, who are currently leading this game. There is a bonus point available for Air Force if they can score one more and get within 10 points. The Margodes little dink collected by the Airmen, but this time around the counter-ruck and the jackal is good from Vicesio.
Yes, he's been good in the few moments that he's been involved. He's managed to make a difference. Winning penalties, getting defense in there, making carries as well, Vicesio. Samuel Madhuanta gets them deep into the 22, and for the first time in a long time, Havelocks entering the 22, so you can say that the wind has made a difference, Sudarshana, in this game. It has died down now, but in the early parts of this game there was quite a bit of wind, as we see Kaluarachi just not able to free that ball up. The frustration of missing those kicks means that he's not making the best decisions at the moment.
Yeah, trying to do a little too much in the Malgoda. Advantage in favour of Havi's. Ball at the back available for Fajuddin. It's going to be a free kick in favour of the Park Club, who would have ideally preferred for the advantage to have gone a little bit longer.
Tinetha Dodangoda, another superb line out forward, replacing Mendes, who has been absolutely superb. If you're a Havelocks fan today, a real niggle that is provided in the tights.
Advantage again, not falling away.
Tiben Pereira with the carry, and Chaturil Sean picks and goes. His fresh legs coming into the Havi's forwards, making it very difficult. Samuel Madhuanta puts in a little dink, and collecting that is Yahan Bulot Singalage. A poacher's try, if you may. Commercial Bank, try number 3 for Havelocks. 18 points to 5, and just like that, despite not scoring all this time in the second half, they are in a very comfortable position now.
Well, they've managed to convert. Just went into the 22. We said they haven't been into the 22 for ages. And Yehan Bulat Singhal again not going to sleep. And this is a really important try, not just for him, but for the team as well. It'll settle their nerves and ensure them of the victory. And for Bulat Singhal as well, coming into club rugby and finding his feet, trying to get into the starting 15 for Havelocks, that will be an important try just to settle his nerves as he launches his club career.
Well, Shanika, what that draw early in this league does to Havelock is the fact that every single bonus point is going to come with a premium. So they are going to want to go for that fourth try as well. Now that they've secured the victory, which will be almost certain if Air Force doesn't put on some of the best rugby that we've seen any team play in these final 5 minutes.
15 points to win, or 15 points to draw in less than 5 minutes. It's going to be a tall ask. We have to say that the defense has been superb from Havelocks. Parakrama Ratnayaka is coming on for Shamika Kaushan. Hasn't been in that rich try-scoring form that he was in at the start of the season, Kaushan. They've really made some mistakes at the back of their driving mauls, which will haunt them, as they might have to give up first place in the league ladder.
Back on.
Got to talk about the player of the match as well, isn't it, Sudarshana?
Yeah, we need to try and discuss on Swiss Tech perfect player of the match for this game as we close in on the final couple of minutes. Arusha Ratnayaka diving desperately to try and catch that, and has the good sense to get back up. Rajaratna's tackle, did it slip towards the danger zone? We will have to wait and see. Nirmal Vikramasinghe with the carry. Air Force need to make sure that they at least get 7 on the board here. Penalty in favour of the Airmen. Quickly taken by Kaluarachi, but at the wrong mark.
The tackle assist there, not showing a clear release. Vicesio. And all the players involved in the tackle have to release, show clear daylight to the referee before going back in to play the ball, even if you haven't left your feet. That's a really important aspect for young players to realize. Rasindu Bandar on your screen there will be looking to make a difference. Vicesio will argue that he had rights. Parakrama with the throw-in, and Sashika Fernando is the man who ends up with it. Not in a good position though, as he tidies up. And once again, the defense of Havelock's doing the job, Sudarshana.
Yeah, they've been absolutely fabulous, and to come back to the Swiss Tech perfect player of the match, his forwards have been fabulous. Shanak, and one of those men who had really stood out is Udesh Madhushanka in that number 7 jersey. Shem Mendes was a real thorn in the attempts of Air Force to try and get any headway, but I think my suggestion and my nomination will be that man in that number 25 jersey, Dilshara Kodagoda, who was absolutely fabulous for Havelocks, both in attack and defense.
Well, it's a close run thing, isn't it? I think Madhushanka has been really good shadowing Vauvasa, but also Dilshara Kodagoda has made a lot of inroads, got in behind the first line of defense many times and carried the ball with real intelligence and also with the defense. So Dilshara Kodagoda will be our perfect player of the match.
Havis now hunting for their 4th initial bank try, which will earn them a bonus point, and That's going to be crucial to decide who will end up in the first 4 spots as Colombo Silva snipes through.
Go low.
Madhuanta taking it quickly. That's going to be another advantage coming their way. 10 meters advanced by the referee.
Not 10 meters.
Some desperate work by the airmen who haven't been able to try and get that fluidity that they showcase in those first 3 games. Shanaka, this is the strongest opposition that they've come across with. And travelling out from their home base, they've been found wanting.
Yes, away from Ratmalana, they've shown that they are not the same animal they are at home. So that's something that their coaches will have to look at, something that they will have to figure out in the dressing room. Charana Sendanayaka enjoying the gap on the scoreboard now in the last 30 seconds. It wasn't the case for much of the second half, but it will be a frustrating result for Air Force, but a much relief for Havelocks.
Break. Boys. Reserves.
Well, this is an interesting one, Chanaka. Last move, Havis desperately need a try. Not going to ask you whether who's going to win this one, because Havelocks have secured that. Will Havis be able to score that last try?
Well, they haven't really given me too much confidence that they can score tries at will, Sudarshana, not with today's performance for sure. But it just remains to be seen whether Air Force will stay switched on now that they know it's the last move of the game, whether they will defend as hard as they have been, and whether Colombo Silva can maybe come up with a moment of magic.
Here's the overseas talent Visesio carrying it for Havis. Silva, quick ball to Vidyanatha. In the corner, yes, the Swiss Tech player of the match, is he? Yes. Referees will check whether there was a legal score, but Dilshara Kodagoda justifying our selection as well. He's been a live wire.
Yes, so we have a 50-50 call. Okay, TMO. Dilroy, my on-field decision is try. Just want to check the line of touch to reconfirm the try.
So what you want to check is whether was he out? Did he touch the line of flag, or did he step outside before grounding the ball? Is it?
Yeah, correct.
Before the grounding, I just want to check whether that feet is touched on the line.
Okay. Can I see the angle 5? Thank you. Give me the 5 first, please.
Let's watch Kodagoda here. Gets the fend away, lovely fend as well. He's in there from what we can see here at least. Ooh, is that the step? Is that the step? If that step is not on the line, Sudarshan, I think the try is clean. Please. But do we have the angle?
Here's another angle. It's the next step, that's that one. There. There. Is that on the line? The final one. That one there. I think this is going to give us the best available angle. Now that one there. Is that on the line?
Alex, just have a look at it. Just before he reaches the goal line, is he stepping outside? Just this one.
It's not clear, Dilo. Can you repeat on that, Dilo?
Can you go onto the same angle, please. Give me the slow motion of that. Yes.
The best angle we have, and that final step is the one in question. This one there.
At that point, from
Alex?
my way, he's touching on the touch line.
So what's your recommendation on that?
Yeah, for me, I think he's on his foot is on the touch line, so therefore it's a line out for me.
It looks like the Air Force defense might have done just enough with that little touch there. That's the step. That's the one there. You have to say, it looks very much like he might be on the line.
Yeah, that's good enough. Thank you.
Everything else was fine. Just that
Alex?
TMO, can you repeat your call, please?
Yeah, for me, he steps the line of touch before scoring the try, before touching.
Okay, that's a try.
So no try? I'm happy with that.
No, I'm pressing my decision. Touch on the line. If I didn't pin an angle,
Abdullah Faiz having a proper go at the ref, saying you can't see it, but he knows how important that bonus point is. But
Well, now, Shanak, it's interesting because it was last move, and that player going in touch effectively ends the game there.
So no try. And match over.
And that's it. It's 20 points to 5. Havelock start. And referee Alexander saying that was the best angle we had, and it looked very much like he touched, and I don't think Abdullah Faiz is going to have too much of an argument there, and I don't think many Havelock's fans will either, because it looked very much like he was in touch, and it'll be interesting to see what the assistant referee Vijay Veera had said early on, whether what he thought. So it's an interesting one. But no bonus point for Havelocks today, and you can see that even though they've won the game, they know how important that was, which is why they're not pumping their arms. But it's an important win for them nevertheless. Lilshah Rakoda, that man who almost scored that final try, is our player of the match as well. But Air Force, much wanted coming into this game, but they can see that playing from the top, as Candy have done for so many years, Sudarshana, when everyone's nipping at your heels, that's when it's hardest to play, and that showed today. They just didn't make the right decisions. They just couldn't make the best use of the resources that they had on offer. And at that point, it's when the pressure has come to tell. When the expectation is created, that's when problems start happening. And that's what this Air Force team will just have to play with the same freedom that they have been playing to be table leaders in the third week of matches.
You're absolutely spot on, Shanika. When you have a monkey on the back, it's always very difficult, isn't it, to try and keep delivering the same performances week in, week out. And Air Force found wanting in their first time of asking against a much stronger opposition. Havis, on the other hand, will be delighted at the fact that they managed to get the big W, but they'll be disappointed. Despite getting the W, they have left points on the park. They have left a bonus point on the park, and they need to make sure that they get everything that's coming at them, because currently they're languishing in that 5th position, and this win just might have propped them up. But remember, there are 2 teams in 3rd and 4th with a game in hand in Kandy Sports Club and CHNFC, who will be meeting on Sunday. Full-time confirmation, 20 points to 5 in favor of the home team, Havelock Sports Club, managing to get in 3 commercial bank tries and a couple of conversions as well. But Air Force, on the other hand, will be disappointed that they just have 5 points to show with the star flyer fan kicker Ganti Malgoda having an off day with the boot. Second half's action versus somewhat subdued because there was only one commercial bank try each scored from both the teams. Vishal Akalanka managing Air Force first and only commercial bank try of the game. And Kayan Bulat Singalage scoring a poacher's try through that little dink of Samuel Madhuwanta. Madhuwanta converting that. A last gasp attempt for that bonus point try from Havelocks. Was initially awarded, but on referral was overturned with Koda Agoda having stepped on the touchline. The key stats of the game: Havelocks 3 tries, just 1 conversion, making up their 20 points, and unconverted try by Air Force getting them 5 points, and the win to Havelock Sports Club. The Swiss Tech perfect player of the match, Dilshar Kodagoda of Havelock Sports Club in the number 25 jersey, playing at the second center, was absolutely fabulous. Coming up, 3 more games this weekend. Tomorrow, that's on Saturday, Navy will be hosting CRN-FC up at Valisara, with Sri Lions hosting Police Sports Club at the London Place. And on Sunday, the defending champions will be hosting the high-riding CHNFC, the Gymkhana Club, which is going to be a very interesting one. Well, with that, we come to the end of today's transmission, and until we meet you next time, I'm Sudarshan Apiri signing off alongside the Papare production and the technical crew. Until we see you next time.
Pushing the limits.
Stand by for opener.
Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, ThePapare.
3, 2, 1, roll off.
This is Sri Lankaවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව ThePapare සමග.
Welcome back to ThePapare.
Welcome to the live broadcast on ThePapare.
Good luck, guys. Good luck, everyone.
ThePapare, Sri Lanka's #1 television sports channel.
Keep pushing the limits. No matter what your fitness goal is, we are always there by you, with you. Iodex. Get. Spray. Go.
බෑග්වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මා ගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
Drink Samahan daily to boost your immunity and stay healthy against prevailing health conditions. Samahan daily. Stay healthy.
බෑග්වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මා ගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
වසංගකාරී වෙනුවෙන් අද්විතීය නිමාවෙන් විශ්වාසී ආරක්ෂාවෙන් අසම සම ස්මාර්ට් ඔප්ෂන් සමගින් 125cc බලයෙන් සියල්ලටම ඉහළින් TVS Raider 125 the full option bike.
ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් එකක් නැද්ද මුදලාලි? අතන කඩේ 140ක් දෙන්නම් කිව්වා.
බෑග්වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මා ගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
Keep sweating. No matter what your fitness goal is, we are always there by you, with you. Iodex. Get. Spray. Go.
ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් එකක් නැද්ද මුදලාලි? අතන කඩේ 140ක් දෙන්නම් කිව්වා.
බෑග්වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මා ගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
අසම සම ස්මාර්ට් ඔප්ෂන් සමගින් 125cc බලයෙන් සියල්ලටම ඉහළින් TVS Raider 125 the full option bike.
Every modern office needs sophistication, cutting-edge precision, and seamless support. Vantage for the modern professional.
එතකොට මහත්තයාට උනේ ටයිල් ඇඩිසිව් ග්‍රවුට් වෝටර්ප්‍රූෆින් ස්කිම් කොට් නේ.
ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් එකක් නැද්ද මුදලාලි? අතන කඩේ 140ක් දෙන්නම් කිව්වා.
බෑග්වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මා ගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
Drink Samahan daily to boost your immunity and stay healthy against prevailing health conditions. Samahan daily. Stay healthy.
එතකොට මහත්තයාට උනේ ටයිල් ඇඩිසිව් ග්‍රවුට් වෝටර්ප්‍රූෆින් ස්කිම් කොට් නේ.
ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් එකක් නැද්ද මුදලාලි? අතන කඩේ 140ක් දෙන්නම් කිව්වා.
බෑග්වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මා ගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
අසම සම ස්මාර්ට් ඔප්ෂන් සමගින් 125cc බලයෙන් සියල්ලටම ඉහළින් TVS Raider 125 the full option bike.
Perfectly Swiss Tech Aluminium. නඩත්තු වියදම් නැති ජාත්‍යන්තර සාතික සමග වසර 30ක් දක්වා වගකීමක් ඇති Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
Keep rising. No matter what your fitness goal is, we are always there by you, with you. Iodex. Get. Spray. Go.
Perfectly Swiss Tech Aluminium. නඩත්තු වියදම් නැති ජාත්‍යන්තර සාතික සමග වසර 30ක් දක්වා වගකීමක් ඇති Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න. Perfectly Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
අසම සම ස්මාර්ට් ඔප්ෂන් සමගින් 125cc බලයෙන් සියල්ලටම ඉහළින් TVS Raider 125 the full option bike.
Perfectly Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.